Oh, I'm going to take you back a little bit to the issue of investment, and you talked about having to get foreign direct investment. And I still have some of those data that I read out to you earlier on.
Yeah.
Protecting investors in 2011 it was 60, and now it's gone to 65. Does that speak well of our ability to maybe protect investors and investment that they actually bring into the country?
Well, these are, I believe, data that are disaggregated and done by independent. So I would say they are biased against us. We are competing against the rest of
the country.
nation.
183 countries.
It doesn't mean that we haven't made efforts in the area. I mean, we've been trying, for example, to reorganize SEC. We've been doing something about NSC. But you see, those problems that happened, the way the NSC DG was removed, Nigerian Stock Exchange Director was removed. You saw recent happenings between the House and SEC. These are the things that people used to rate us. The perception. Sometimes these things are perception. If a DG in SEC is removed unceremoniously, if there's court case between chairman of SEC and the DG of SEC, there was a time there was a court case between president of NSC and so forth and so on. These things affect our rating. We may be trying, we may be making some moves, but because of how people perceive us, they rate us poorly. And those are part of the factors that we have to deal with. Last year, the Minister of Trade and Investment, who was Minister of Finance, spoke about inviting the guys who do these ratings to say, tell us what measures. And they came. So we will say we do not know what they are rating. We need to hold ourselves responsible and accountable for the results we get. It's easy to blame the people that are recording or testing you, but at the end of the day, if there were any faults or errors, they cancel out because they are dealing with 183 countries. So I believe that, when the Minister of Trade and Industry and Investment was speaking last Friday, he says, these are my KPI. I'm going to reduce this rating by 73%. I'm going to reduce this by 100% basis points. So that means that next year, when these ratings are coming out, we expect to have moved to a particular rating. If we don't, we should hold the minister responsible. He should explain to us why we haven't reached there, and be able to take the consequences of either reaching or not. So that is the way we need to go.
Let's look at entrepreneurial development once again. Last week, the second edition of the UN initiative of the federal government was launched, and of course it was targeted at women for that category. And when you tie this to taxation, and I just wonder how many small business owners will be able to cope with the level of taxation that we put to them, if they have to survive. Because why it is good for government to launch such initiatives and promote and encourage young people, entrepreneurs, to come out and own their own businesses. Have they been able to address the issue of taxation? Because they will not just be in the FCT or whatever, but at the local government levels as well, where we are having challenges to contain the amount of taxation that is being taken.
Let me tell you sincerely, I'm passionate about this because right now I run an NGO called Samoho Foundation for Economic Empowerment, and I am spending energy and time trying to help young entrepreneurs, young people, to their business, because we cannot leave this issue of unemployment to the government. In fact, government has a minimal capability to create jobs. Their own business is to create environment so that businesses can sprout, and that's what you're speaking about, the entrepreneurial push. But in normal climes, even in developed countries, new businesses have a high level of mortality, or they don't survive. In other climes, in the best of climes, the rate of death of new businesses or failure is high. Now it's worse here. It's worse here. Why? Because every new person, every entrepreneur who wants to set up businesses, things that are taken for granted elsewhere, he has to provide. And that is not just providing those things, but the environment is not friendly. A man is building a kiosk to set up a pure water in factory, or is trying to set up a business. No, everybody comes to him as if he was coming to commit a crime. The government come at you with such ferocity. the environment, when I spoke about Omonile tax and your boys are on the road tax, these are as if you've caused trouble by trying to. I don't know what happened when channels began to build this place. I can bet that they sweated, because droves of people are going to come and make claims to the land, and then they'll come and ask you for this and that. This local government will come.
It's quite interesting that because if it's a government allocated land, you have all sorts of people coming to take levies, and you wonder who owns the land.
Who owns the land?
Who owns the place that you're building
So
on?
the environment itself, both the government and non-state actors have not come to this psychology that if you see a man trying to set up a business, if you are passing on the road, stop and say, please, is there anything I can do to help you? Why? That man setting up his kiosk is going to employ a carpenter to build the kiosk for him. He's going to employ an electrician to wire the place for him. And then at the end, he'll put 1 or 2 people there, take them off the road. So let us change our thinking and be entrepreneurial supportive. When we see people going to business, rather than be obstacle, let us be facilitators and help them. That is where we need to go. And I think that's where I hear the federal government, the sounds I'm hearing, the sound bites from the Minister of Investment, seems they're beginning to come to understand that. Now, the question is, do the states understand it? The local governments understand it? I mean, a man has put up a structure, you come and bulldoze it, and you do it gleefully. Now, if I have built in the wrong place, you come and say, look, this place you built in, let me show you, let me help you, and put your investment in the right place. You come and destroy his house, destroy his property, and do it with glee. Now, what do you think that says to other people? I am not against disobeying the law or doing things in an organized manner, but I'm saying that if a government wants to promote entrepreneurship, wants people to be employed, wants people to be engaged in meaningful business, then they may be supportive. Okay. I mean, they can give you land and say you pay in 10 years instead of asking you to pay today. Why can't you allow you pay over a long time? Okay. And they give you access to credit. These are the things that will promote entrepreneurship and truly change the state of our unemployment.